Hello, everybody, and welcome back to OSQ&A. That's what I landed on, Roxy. That's what this is going to be called,
It's good.
OSQ&A.
It's cute.
I played around with OSAMA, and then I spelled it out, and it's Osama, and so I decided not to do that. I thought no on that one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, AMA, because I said FAQ last time, and I was like, this is technically not an FAQ, and so I was like, oh, OSAMA, that'll be it, and then I typed it in, and I was like, so OS.
Sometimes you got to make sure you check it all out from all the angles.
All the angles. You got it. You know how it is. You don't want to get canceled. OSQ&A, which I don't think is problematic in any way. And we got some questions from the Discord, and this time they're sports related. And Roxy, I think you're more of a sports person than I am. Do you think
Yeah,
that
but
is
I think you'll
true?
still be able to answer these questions because they're not very sports specific.
That's true. That's true. But I did think this was a good opportunity for me to ask you about your relationship with sport.
Yeah, I grew up. Team sports were really important in my family. We all played them um, because, and as they are important to me, they help you be on a team. I never played any individual sports.
Okay.
And um I wish I did learn. like I think I said, maybe I said this on the show a while ago, but I kind of, the other, about a year ago, I was like, oh, I never learned any rich kid sports, and now those are the sports people play as adults. Like, I never learned how to ski or to play tennis.
Okay.
And those are the things that you can do as an adult. I learned lacrosse and
Okay.
basketball and soccer. Now, basketball, you can kind of, people do pickup games, but less in the girl world.
That
So
makes sense.
I really wish that I had done some individuals, but I learned all groups things because the value of teams and whatnot.
That makes sense. So wait, so you played basketball when you were younger?
Yeah, I played basketball, soccer, and lacrosse. I was best at lacrosse. I played AAU basketball,
I don't.
and
I, I don't know a delicate way to ask this about you in basketball. How did that go?
yeah, great question. I was a number two shooting guard. I'm very slow and short, but I was a great passer and
There you go.
a decent shooter, and I have a lot of heart. So
There you go. That's all you need.
I often won the 110% award,
Gotcha.
which
That I
is
believe that I buy that. That makes sense to me. Yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
MVP award. So I was, oh yeah, golf. That's the other rich kid sport that's individual that I didn't learn.
I hate golf. I hate playing golf.
Yeah, but if you didn't hate it, it's a good one to learn because that's what adults do. They tennis, they golf, and they ski.
What I'm hearing is adults are boring. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I
hearing.
agree.
Adults are boring.
I agree. Like, why is nobody playing lacrosse with me anymore?
What
Um,
is? I'm sorry for my ignorance. Which one is lacrosse? Like when you say lacrosse, pictures come into my brain, and I realize, like, wait, do I actually know what lacrosse is?
it's kind of the opposite of field hockey. So
Okay.
instead of stick on the ground, you got stick in the air, you cradle, run with the ball, shoot in the net. It's like a soccer in the air. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's a very East Coast heavy sport. It was definitely my best sport.
Okay.
And I quit it to be a theater kid when I was in high school because they were at the same, the Peter Pan play and being on the lacrosse team. You couldn't do both.
It's a bummer.
It
Made you
was.
choose, made you do that, Sophie. You could be a pro lacrosse player right now, and
I
instead you're out
could.
here making movies in Hollywood.
Yeah, no, it's too rough and tumble for me, but I liked sports. I was never the best, but I really liked them. I liked all the stuff around it too, DJ, this bus rides with my friends and
Yeah,
socializing.
yeah, yeah.
I was the captain, or not the captain, I was the manager of the guys lacrosse team. My boyfriend at
Okay.
the time was on the team. It's very fun to like kind of travel and whatever, hang out with my friends. And at halftime you'd get like orange slices and like,
Nice.
I liked like strategy, and all the coaches liked me because I was always like first there, last to leave, because try really hard at everything. So I really dug it. Did you play sports at all? I don't even know
No,
how it works when When you're homeschooled, are you allowed to play public school sports?
Depends. Yeah, there was you could be a part of other high school teams, but I was never much of a teams guy. I did martial arts for a long time.
That's
I'm a
cool.
first degree black belt in Taekwondo. Um, so I did that for many years, starting when I was like 6. And
How
that
come? You wanted to, or your parents had you?
no, I wanted to be a Power Ranger. I wanted to be a
Mm.
Power Ranger, and so I was like, get me into martial arts, and so I did that but I stayed in it. I started when I was like 6, and I stayed in until I was 13, 14, something like that. So 6 or 7 years. Um, and But I never like people always see my height and they're like, "Oh, basketball." I'm like, look at me, man. No, I wasn't fucking playing basketball. Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
But
I don't
why?
have
I
the
would
I
ask
don't
the
have the
same thing.
I don't have the fucking stamina for that shit. I'm just not a good team sports guy. I wasn't like it's just not it never appealed to me in that way. And in hindsight, maybe I should have more. Probably could have learned some valuable lessons. But it just wasn't me. But I think that was pretty much the extent of it was the martial arts. That was the extent of my sports. My family, we'd watch football pretty regularly, but I never really like watched athletics, got in
What
athletics.
was your team?
Well, for the bulk of my youth, we lived in outside of Tampa, so the Bucks, for a long time. Which for the majority of the time I lived there was a very didn't go great for us. They did a lot better once I left.
Once Brady came.
Once we stole them from you. But but yeah, that was pretty much the extent of it. And I'm going to assume, based off our conversations, for you growing up, if it's a Boston team, did you live your entire
Life there.
Boston the whole time?
I was born here,
Okay.
and then I moved there when I was 2. My mom's from New York and then New Jersey, and my dad's from Massachusetts. So my mom was a big diehard Yankees fan. So there's like a 2-year period of my life where I thought I liked the Yankees best, just trying to be different and like,
Hmm.
on my mom's team. I actually found a picture of us the other day of me and her Yankees gear top to bottom. I'm like, oh my God, I would be disowned today. I
Yeah.
was probably like 10.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I've always been a Boston team girl in terms of growing up. The Celtics were my number one team by far and away. Basketball was our thing. My
Yeah.
grandpa had season tickets at some point, um, and he died when I was 7, so I don't remember that much, like going to the games that much with that. But I know we went a couple times, and then I would usually go like once a season, buy a ticket, the Boston Garden, which was so great there, and we were just diehard Celtics fans. Then I always loved the Patriots as well.
Hmm.
And then it was very easy to love them because we became like the most dominant franchise ever.
Yeah.
And uh, I
Must
love,
be nice. I can say as a Tampa fan,
yeah,
that's where you really have to commit when you're losing all the time.
yeah. It's been crap the last couple of years, but I love the Patriots. I got really involved in football. We all did. And it's the most fun game to watch as a family. I think
Hmm. Hmm.
like football it's very easy to watch. You Yeah, it's that I don't know why I love basketball too, but football as a family, especially because maybe the months that it's played, it's fucking freezing outside.
Yeah.
It's freezing. You've got nothing going on. Some half the time you're snowed in and it's November and you're with your family on the couch watching football. It's just the coolest thing, especially when you rock. Um, And then I'd never been to a hockey game. I've never watched a hockey game. I don't know how I missed it. My brother's a sports broadcaster, so he
Nice.
always was like my way of connecting with him were comic books and sports.
Yeah.
And so I
I would imagine,
definitely
is hockey big in Boston? Have you got
massive.
ice? I
So
was going to say, yeah.
huge. So the Bruins are massive, and
Okay.
and as you can kind of picture, Boston and hockey personality wise, very
Hmm.
similar. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed it. I think I would love it, and I just never ended up. Yeah, I've seen the Patriots, the Red Sox, and the Celtics all win championships in person with my own eyes. I've been
That's
at
cool.
each of those games, and I've never even been to a Bruins game or any amateur hockey game. I don't know what happened. Uh, I have crap eyesight, so maybe I'm nervous I won't be able to see the puck. That's a harder
Yeah,
one to watch.
yeah.
But I
I
love
will say
beers and culture around hockey, so I would think I'd like it.
I've been to a hockey game and I found it boring. It was a lot of
Mm.
like, which is kind of the same reason I find soccer not as entertaining because it's a lot of like going back and forth. Very rarely do. I think that's part of the reason. You mentioned football is very watchable. Points happen at a pretty regular interval. You know what I mean? And it's. I think it's easier to follow in that way. Although I will say. I've been to a couple baseball games with a friend that kind of helped me appreciate the technical aspect. So I think if I was more technically informed on something like hockey or soccer, it'd be easier to invest in. Whereas
What's your
that, I don't think you
basketball
need that as
deal?
much as football.
Do you
Huh?
like watching basketball?
I've never gotten into basketball. I'm sure it seems very fast paced and fun. Obviously, it's a very popular, successful game.
Yeah, that's a good one for points too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on soccer. Even though I played as a kid, it's like, and I know people love it. I it's so hard to commit to a sport that oftentimes ends with 0 points on either side.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. You
that's
have to
such a
really, yeah, I
what a
think you have to be
bummer.
like dialed into like the strategies and all that, like what's happening on the field. It can't just be score based. Whereas sometimes other sports, if you're just your investment is the score, it's easier to like, oh, scores are happening. I'm not a sportsman. I don't know the psychology of what gets people into sports. Sorry, soccer and hockey fans, not trying to dismiss your pastime. I will say also in the chat, I asked what sports are you all into. Leonard Kim says golf is the way to go. I had a buddy of mine that was big into disc golf, so I played that for a while, and that was fun, mostly to just go out and hang out with him.
Do you
Um,
are you up to date? The other day I was out with a friend who was informing me on what's going on in the golf community right now. Are you up to date on this
regular golf?
with the Saudis?
No.
Apparently, and I just don't know anything. The only golf player I know now or have ever known is
Hmm.
Tiger Woods.
Yes.
I found out the other day that Arnold Palmer was a golfer, and that's where we got the drink.
I think I heard that once before and it left my brain and it was like new information you were just
Right.
presenting to me. I'm
So
like, yeah,
I
oh
know
yeah.
nothing about golf to the point where I thought the PGA was the name of like an event, and actually that's the name of like that's like saying NBA.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, so I found that out. While finding that out, I found out that the Saudis had invented LIV, which is their league, Live
Okay.
is what
Uh-huh.
it's called, and half the golf they offered the golfers here double their salary to go play in Live,
Fucking
and half
Saudis,
the
man.
golfers took it and half them didn't. So apparently the states lost some of the biggest, or the PGA lost some of the biggest golfers. But then DJ,
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it was like so bad for the PGA, even though the golfers that stayed in the PGA, like 10 toes down, were like, I'm not effing playing for the Saudis.
Yeah.
And so they didn't take any of the money. They offered Tiger Woods $1 billion,
Jeez.
and then the PGA and Live merged after half the golfers
I
stayed. Apparently they joined forces.
we need to get off fucking fossil fuels and we need to stop emphasizing fucking money so much because everything is going to become Elon Musk with X. Just the richest person buying a thing and then fucking ruin. I don't know that the Saudis are going to ruin it. I'm just saying based off past experience, when other people with all the money buy the thing, they ruin the thing is all I'm saying.
It's happening with soccer right now because the Saudis know that oil is going to be a thing of the past, and or they're running out,
Yeah.
and they're putting a lot of money in sports, and I had no idea that any of this was even going on. I'm so not in the golf community, but apparently
Yeah.
this is a huge story.
I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. Leonard Kim going to Mike Joyce. Baseball and football, these are the sports he's into. I'm a Chicago sports fan, so it hasn't gone well for me in recent years.
Yeah, but it's cool to be from Chicago, man. You guys, whether your teams are performing or not, at least you have the major sports. Like a lot of places don't have those fan bases and those teams. It's like LA didn't even have an effing football team until recently.
And based on past history, could just go away just as easily. And to your point, Leonard Kim said Saudi Arabia has been rampant in their sports washing. They're doing it in soccer right now, which is what you were saying. I don't
Yeah,
like
like
it.
Ronaldo went to go play for them, I believe, and now Messi's taking a lot of Saudi money.
It just, we just, I don't. All right, all right, all right, all
Like,
right,
how
all
much
right.
money? Like going back to the Lizzo situation,
Yeah.
so how much money is too much money? What's the number?
Well, I'll say
And then
this,
let's put a cap on it.
and unfortunately, I don't have the number in front of me. So we're gonna have to take this in the abstract. But they've done studies to where money actually does improve your happiness to a certain extent.
Right.
You reach, and it's basically once your needs are met, where you don't have to like stress about as many things, then it kind of caps off, and then there's this last little spurt. I want to say like maybe like around 800,000. I want to say there's an 8 in there, and it's high, but not as high as you think. There's one, it levels off, and then there's this last little spurt that if you reach this amount, your happiness goes up, and then you keep earning money, but your happiness doesn't go up, and it's like let's cut it off there,
Okay,
right?
whatever that number is,
Yeah.
yes. Because I know for a fact, this is why when people say money can't buy happiness, I know for a fact, especially during this strike right now,
Yeah.
money would bring me happiness. I know
Yeah.
that. I cannot lie to you. Money would bring me happiness right now. I'm
Yeah.
positive because the amount of stress that I and many of you guys feel, DJ, you guys in the chat, most of us civilians, right? What we feel, the stress that we feel when you don't know how you're gonna make sure that a roof's over your head, or what that when you're on your 10th pack of ramen for the week because that's just what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
That is directly taking away from my happiness. So whatever that number is, if you want to cap me off after that, perfect.
Yeah.
But like then that's but like what we need all should be in that range of money
Yeah,
and
and
happiness.
it's the money happiness range, and I think it's this weird instinct. I don't know why. I don't know why as like a culture or as a species where we're like, yeah, it's okay that Elon Musk has the most, and not anymore, but like the most billions or whatever. It's
Yeah,
like
we
no,
should
but you
not allow
understand.
that.
You don't understand that like that's. Money's a construct, so it doesn't fucking technically mean anything really, other than what we've decided it means. But him having all those resources mean the rest of us have less resources. That's what that means. And so like stop it. Like fucking let's find a way to get the money from him and put it in the rest of our pockets so that we're all a little bit more stable. Fucking countries in the global south, fucking like we can it's there, the resources are there to make everybody happier. Let's fucking do it, man. Let's fucking do it.
Yes.
Fucking Saudis, god damn it.
Happier because you have security. Safety.
Yeah, because that's it. It's not that money can buy you happiness. It's that the barrier between us and our basic human needs we've decided is money. It used to be could you plant the things you need to plant or hunt the things you need to hunt. Now
Right.
we've decided that
Okay.
barrier is money. For some reason, our fucking monkey brains, we think there needs to be some barrier between me and happiness, and so we've decided money is the thing. And then some people don't not get more than they could ever spin if they had a billion fucking lifetimes. Fucking insane. But sports is what we're talking about. Sports.
Well, there's
So,
a lot of effing money in sports. There's a lot of money
True.
in sports.
True. If you could play, this is Leonard Kim in the Discord chat. If you could play an Olympic sport, what would it be, Roxy?
It's got to either be gymnastics or ice skating for me. I think.
Are you an ice skater?
Oh no, I thought this was just like in my dream world.
You
Like,
absolutely can. I just didn't know if that equaled to you actually being an ice skater in real life.
no.
Okay.
I did take ice skating classes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I know how to skate anymore, but I was actually decent as a kid.
I was not when I tried to learn.
But
Shocker.
that is one of the expensive ones.
Stupid. Why? Why is it expensive?
I know. Like soccer, that's why it's played all around the world.
Yeah.
Is a cheap sport. You
Yeah.
need a ball.
Uh-huh.
That's what you need.
But for skating, don't you just need skates?
And the rink. And it's like, and then when you're a kid having to learn, and it's not the same as soccer classes that are like readily available with big groups. You need like somebody helping you, or you don't need that, but your parents need to be able to have time to do that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that was one of the ones that my parents were like, "Do you want to do this? Because if you do, we can prioritize this. But this is like not just like a fun activity, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
this is a thing."
Okay.
Um,
All right.
and skates are expensive, and when you're a kid too, your feet are growing, and you need new
Mm-hmm.
skates
Yep.
all the time.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. So wait,
So
what was the other? It was skates, and what was the other one you
and
said?
gymnastics. That's another
Gymnastics.
thing I did do as a kid too, which now I can't do either. But the reason for those two is because I feel like those are the two I watch the most because I'm in the most awe of them. And what they're able to do with their bodies is if I could do that with my body, I would be so cool. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
know DJ, we talked about people not being special, and inherently I agree with you that like no human is more special than another human. We're all born, so that
Yeah.
is what it is. All of our sperm and eggs were chosen together for whatever reason. Like that's for every person on earth. Um, but some people are more skilled than others.
Mm-hmm.
And to be skilled in the area of gymnastics or ice skating, like how did your body turn that many times? That would I
Mm-hmm.
can't imagine. I would have to think that that's the closest that humans actually feel without like technology to flying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that just seems insane to me. I probably should pick an answer that's like more financially, like the most financially viable. But
No,
this would
no,
be
no.
just
Yeah,
so
it's
cool.
whatever. Yeah, whatever. Listen, it's a question. It's a hypothetical. Whatever your dreams may bring.
But being a
Uh,
gymnast and an ice skater, though, it goes along with when you're a woman not getting your period and not being able to have above a certain percentage body fat. Like it probably would actually be miserable to train and get there. If I could just blink and be there, those are the ones.
yeah. Did you meet when we were doing the photo shoot? Did you meet Danelle? Who's playing? I don't need to get into it. He played Manny in my short.
Oh,
Uh, were you? I don't remember if that overlapped at all.
I don't think so.
Oh no, he wasn't able to come that day. Anyway, Danelle is
Didn't
an Olympian.
I? Wasn't Danelle not there? So I did something.
Oh, yep, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, no, but he's an Olympian. He's a former Olympian. He's a bronze medalist
What was
in a
the sport?
gymnastics. Yeah, he's an
Wow.
Olympic
Yeah, I
gymnast.
gotta ask him if it feels like flying sometimes. Like you see people dismount and do spins in the air, and it's like, how did you do that?
Yeah, and it just seems as incredible as it seems so taxing. And unfortunately, as you're pointing out, like all that stuff is feels like everything's more taxing on women.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
not just like there's stuff that we societally we control that for some reason we've decided is just more taxing on women, but then there's other like that, like if you're going to be a gymnast it's also more it's I'm sorry, it seems very frustrating. But yeah, I think for me, because of my history with martial arts and my love of martial arts, I think taekwondo specifically is an Olympic sport, and that's what I got my
Do you
black belt in.
watch?
No, not really. I watch a lot of action movies. I watch watch a lot of
Yeah, no, I
but
just
I
didn't know. I've never seen Taekwondo in the Olympics, so I didn't know like what even it looks like in
let's
terms of
see if
is
I'm
it
right.
people individually performing or fighting
It's
against each other?
sparring. It's sparring,
Sparring.
which here's the thing with sparring. I believe it's just sparring. I was never good at sparring because I didn't want to hurt the other person. Which now in hindsight, I don't think I need to worry about that so much. I don't think I was good. I should have been more worried about me getting hurt. Okay, so no, in the Olympic disciplines, karate, judo, taekwondo, boxing. Okay, so I could have done karate or taekwondo if I'd stuck with it. Like I could have been an Olympian. But you know what I mean? Those were the sports I did is what I'm getting at. And so
Totally.
that's where my interests lie. And similarly, the have that amount of control over your body. To me, even when you watch like professional dancers, it's like, God, I wish I'm such a fucking klutz. I wish I had that amount of physical control. Like it's so cool to see. But yeah, that would be my answer to that question. Um, Cracker, please. Are you following the World Cup? The U.S. plays the Netherlands later today. This was posted like a week ago. So you just talked about soccer. Do you watch
I
the
believe
World
it's
Cup?
women's soccer right now, right? Like, didn't we just have the men's World Cup and now it's the women's?
I do not know.
I know not. I don't watch soccer at
Okay.
all. The only reason I know that is Dorina, my fellow world girl, is obsessed with soccer. As all of my friends from Mexico are.
Mm-hmm.
It's a obviously massive deal there.
Yeah.
And I believe the other day somebody said something about the World Cup, and I think I said something like that. Well, wasn't that a while ago? And she was like, "Men's World Cup," and I didn't know those were even at different times or
Yeah.
whatever. So,
That's one of those when you hear that reaction, you're like, well, I'm gonna keep my questions to
well,
myself and
not
just nod and be
not
like,
liking
yeah,
soccer.
yeah.
I will say that I do feel this way. Not liking or not watching soccer does make me feel like an ignorant, spoiled American because
Yeah.
I love sports and I don't watch soccer, and that's the one the world loves.
Yeah.
Like it's weird that I'm like football and everybody else in the world is like, you guys made that up and it's only your country and you stole the name of our sport. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just that is so it's so ignorant American of me that I'm like soccer is kind of like lame sometimes. So I feel bad. One time I was in when I was 20, I was backpacking around Europe for 6 weeks.
Ooh.
And it was in the summer, so somebody else could step in with what this was. I think it was in 2020. I'm going to say it was in 2010,
Okay.
summer of 2010. There's big soccer tournament going on. Could
Mm-hmm.
be a cup, could be a world. I don't know
Yeah.
even what the names of them are.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the most fun thing ever. Every person, like in the streets, in the bar, everything packed from 90-year-old people to 5-year-old people. It could not have been more fun. And I was like, I do feel like if I didn't grow up here, I would love soccer.
Yeah, 100%. And to your question earlier, Leonard Kim says, yes, it is currently the Women's World Cup. Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you. I think that we played the last I heard, we played the United States played Dubai and we won
Maybe.
or something like
Le-
that.
Leonard says, if it was 2010, it was most likely the World Cup.
So
Sure. I
is the
don't.
World Cup the only cup?
Oh, is that the only cup we get? Are we allowed to get more cups?
Like, are there European Cup? Like, are there
Yeah.
other things that are big tournaments, or is it just the World Cup? And that's every
Yeah,
4 years?
and I think that's again that's us being the Americans that we are because it's like well the Super Bowl's the world one, but that just means us because we're the only ones that play it.
Right, right.
Us
I
in
genuinely
Canada.
don't know anything. I know how to play soccer and I know what the rules are.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about the like the who plays who when.
the other international sport I watch some of outside of like the Olympic stuff is rugby,
Oh,
which
really?
rugby's like insane to
I know
watch. Like
nothing about that.
rugby is like people are worried about football being too violent. Rugby's like hold my beer. Like people are fucking bloody. Like you watch and you're like how do these people not kill each other all the
It's
time?
like
It is
football
violent.
and wrestling combined, right? Like it's like
Yeah, kind of. Like I think that's how I would describe it. Lon Kim says he's our go-to cup analysis. It depends on the region you're in. Ooh, I feel like this is a rabbit hole we're not going to be able to get to the bottom of. But yeah,
what's the
rugby.
soccer tournament in the States? Like is like you just said there's the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
the
Like what's
U.S. Cup. Do we fight each other or do we fight Europeans only?
I don't know.
who do we
I don't know.
who do we fight? And Street Fighter. Who are we fighting? Speaking of Street Fighter, we got another question. I just wanted to bring it up because I am playing something right now. Jake Hefner in the Discord. And by the way, I said this last time, I'll say it again. You guys have given us incredible questions. And just kind of like how I tried to lump these sports ones together. And before that, whatever we talked about last time, I'm trying to like group them together so there's like an overarching theme that connects them. But you guys have given us incredible questions. Keep them coming. We might reach out to X or Instagram or whatever, Patreon to get more questions from you.
Which X are we going to reach out to? I only have
Which
a couple.
X? Oh my God. Which X is going to give us questions? Let's bring X's on the show. Why don't we? But Jake Hefner in the Discord chat says, since we know Roxy's a huge gamer too, would you talk about what games you've been playing, DJ? And I've been playing, I just started last night. I just finished replaying The Witcher. I hadn't played it since it came out, Witcher 3. I started replaying it. And I spent like a good like fucking 160 hours in that game. It's a fucking big ass game. And I heard good things. Roxy, if I say Dead Space, does that mean anything to you?
The
Have you heard
space
anything?
between the times that you play games?
No, the Dead Space is the new game I'm playing. It was a horror game back, I want to say in like 2007. It just got an update, like a remake. And I never played it before, so I'm like, there's a remake. I've heard good things. To give
I've
you a
never
sense,
heard of this.
okay, to give you a sense of it, it's basically like The Thing, Event Horizon, and Alien all in one game. So you play this like engineer that's stuck on this isolated, decimated space station, and there's these fucking alien zombie fuckers that are out there trying to kill you, but you can't just like shoot them in the head. You have to like dismember them. You have to use your space tool to dismember them. And Roxy, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know that I'm built for these fucking horror games. I don't know. For some reason, horror games hit me more than horror movies.
Like make you more scared while you're
Yeah.
playing it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's because I'm playing it and it's like, fuck, if I die, I'm
It's
going to
like
have
if
to
somebody
restart this
jumps
level.
out, it's like being scared in a haunted house, kind of.
Kind of, except that shit doesn't scare me.
Huh,
We go to the
weird.
like the fucking Universal Horror Nights or whatever. And I usually fucking laugh my ass off through those mazes. I fucking love them. They're a blast. But I don't get like scared, right? For some reason, these fucking horror games, I think also part of it is, I was trying to explain it to Monica last night. I think also part of it is, like, I do that to decompress at the end of the day. And horror games, that's not, decompression isn't in the cards. It's more compression, stressful. It's a very good game, though. Mike Joyce says Dead Space is a great series. It's a very well-made game. I like the story so far. It's got a good vibe. It's just fucking... I don't like if I could just save when I wanted, and as opposed to like save stations, which I know this is why they do it. They do the save stations to put the anxiety up. So like if you die, you might have to restart the whole level. I understand it. I just don't like it. It's stressful. It stresses me out, but I like it, and I paid money for it, so I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna play it till I'm done.
Boo.
Boo.
This is a little unrelated to that, but
Go.
did you
Yeah.
finish Zelda? Are you playing Zelda?
I'm not. You talking about the most recent one?
Yes.
I didn't. The one before that was Breath of the Wild, and for some reason I didn't love it as much as everybody else. So I didn't. I haven't played the new one.
So the reason I'm asking is because for like a month and a half, every
Yeah.
night I am on the phone with my brother who was playing Zelda.
Yeah.
And I was like, when are you going to finish? And he's like, oh, I could have finished it a week ago,
Yeah.
but I'm doing all the side missions.
Yes.
And I was like, but why don't you finish it and then do the side missions?
Uh huh.
And he was like, that's not how it works. Like I want to like do everything and then finish it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So okay, what's up? Like
I'm the same way.
What is it? What is the gaming culture? What is that?
So I'm not having played Zelda. I played the last one enough that I'm going to assume it's similar to stuff like The Witcher, where it's open world and stuff like that. So what you're suggesting is something I assuming he could do. He could finish it and then do the side missions. Like me, when I finish it, I want to be finished. So all the side missions I'm gonna do, I want to do before the end, so that when I do the big end thing, that's the end and I'm done.
Huh.
I don't want to like dick around with the side missions because I think it's just a preference. Like I want that final climactic thing to be the climax and not be like I finish it and now I've got like 60 hours into all this side shit. Also, sometimes doing the side shit makes you stronger and allows you to do better for like the final boss or whatever. Depending on the game.
Do you, like service him better? Do better for the final boss?
Yeah, you're stronger, you've reached a higher level, you've got better gear, that sort of thing.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah, but I do the same. I did the same thing for the fucking Witcher. I'm like, although with the Witcher is so fucking big that there are certain sides I was like, I'm just not doing that.
I guess
don't
I
have the
just
time for
I
that shit.
truly, as a non-gamer, just for a second,
Yeah.
I don't get it because I'm a I watch TV and movies.
Yeah.
I don't understand the concept of side things. Like I don't like it would be like
Well,
I don't want to finish. I don't want to finish like Bridgerton until I watch Queen Charlotte.
I
Like
think
the
in
spin-off?
TV terms, if you go to TV terms, in an episode you've got an A plot and a B plot and a C plot, right?
Right.
So like the side missions are the B plot and the C plot. You know what I
Right, but
mean?
you can't choose to watch the A plot and not the B. Like, I mean, I guess.
But
you
what
could
if you
fast.
could? But what if you could?
Yeah.
Welcome to video games.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you could still get to the end of it without doing any B plot things.
It depends on how the game is built. Yeah, but yes.
So
So
sometimes you're
like,
just doing it for fun.
yes. I mean, that's why you play games. It's just for
Yeah,
fun.
I guess
It's
this is
just for fun.
why I don't
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, for example, so like in Witcher, there's the main story. Do you watch the Netflix show?
No, I watched the first season though.
Okay, so you're vaguely familiar with the characters, but you're playing Geralt, who's Henry Cavill in the show, and he's trying to find Ciri, who's the little girl with the white hair.
Hmm.
That's the main plot. But you're in the game. Your job is a Witcher, so you can pick up. You go into a town. There's a notice board. You can pick up a contract to kill a monster. That's
But
not
why would
important
you
to the
want to do that?
because it's fun to
Because
play.
fun,
Because fun. Also, you get money doing it, and money helps you buy better
but
things,
not real money,
like in
right?
life. No, not real money.
Oh,
In-game money.
that
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be sick.
That would be sick. And then you might get better gear. You know what I mean? Better upgrade your gear that can help you fight bigger monsters, and you work your way to the end. Speaking of working your way to the end, Roxy, before we wrap up, you said you caught up on some reality shows.
Yeah, I have. I'm like really obsessing over. I don't know if that's the right word for this. There's reality and competition shows, but I don't know what Shark Tank is. It's a non-scripted show.
Yeah.
Um, have you ever seen it?
I've seen parts of it. Whenever I go to the gym, one of the TVs on the treadmill is always tuned to Shark Tank for some reason.
So I guess I kind of have never really taken the time to um watch a full episode or like really hear the pitches, but because of what's going on right now, I've been trying to watch a lot more non-scripted content, and that typically for me looks like dating shows.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me just put this on. People seem to
Switch it
love
up.
this.
Yeah.
It's effing fascinating, and the sharks are legitimately changing people's lives. Like they I one of the things I like that the show does is that the concept of the show being that people come on, they pitch their things that they're working on, their inventions or whatever. They
Yeah.
ask for money in return for a certain percentage of the company. And some of the shark times will bid for it and they'll whatever come to a negotiation or they won't. But in about halfway through each episode, they give updates on previous people that they've bought,
Hmm.
like the products or whatever. And it seems like this show works.
Okay.
Like, as opposed to a lot of the dating shows I watch, and then immediately afterwards, like I just binged Too Hot to Handle. And last week I told you it wasn't going very well. And by the
Hmm.
end of the week, there was a lot of stuff going on. But then immediately when it ended, you look at the couples that leave together and you look it up, and none of them are together anymore. And
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
never
yeah.
been one couple that stayed together from that show. And it's
Well,
like,
that's because they're too
it
hot to
kind of
handle,
makes,
Roxy.
I know it doesn't make
No.
it pointless to watch because it's still super entertaining, but it is kind of like this show doesn't work. And I feel the same
Yeah.
way about The Bachelor sometimes. Like
It is so
they have a
funny that the premise of your show is that these people cannot keep their hands to themselves. And it's like, let's all applaud for the happy couple. It's like, no, but you just spent the whole
but you
show
told
telling
us.
me
Yeah,
that they can't keep their hands to themselves.
totally. So anyway, though, I'm very used to like reunion episodes just saying like, and nothing worked out. So it is
Yeah.
very nice on Shark Tank to see that these entrepreneurs end up making like a ton of effing money
Hmm.
after they go here if it works. And some of the products are really innovative and cool. And I do feel like obviously it's not the equivalent of going to business school,
Yeah.
but I do feel like I'm kind of learning a lot about margins and like how it works to invent a product. I don't have a product I'm trying to invent, but like
Yet.
it's kind of a fascinating show.
Can I ask you a dumb question?
Yeah.
Are, where did you start? I'm going to assume you didn't go back to like
No, no,
season one, episode one.
I just clicked on an episode popped up, so I clicked
Gotcha.
on it. I actually
Gotcha.
have no idea what time and place I'm in, other
Hmm.
than it seems current. So I think it's this year
Okay.
because a lot of the pitches have mentioned like now that we're out of COVID,
Oh, okay. 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 Okay.
so it makes me think like it must be last year or this year.
COVID cases are on the rise, by the way. But yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally,
Yeah.
totally, totally. But there was like 4 episodes that I just binged through, and I was just like, wow, this seems like the show is this is working, and I'm
What
interested in these things.
What is your favorite invention show so far that you've seen on the episodes you've watched?
Hmm. Okay, there was this one that just happened that um they're not all inventions, but this one is there's this berry that is found or can be grown
Hmm.
that you eat and it makes everything you eat taste sweet for 40 minutes.
Oh,
So
weird.
you eat this berry and then you have a lemon and it tastes like candy
Yeah.
and it's been used and it's a natural berry. It like blocks your sensors from sour or from spicy, whatever. It makes everything sweet. So the one guy who not invented it, but like packaging these and growing these, whatever, he was like 250 pounds overweight,
Yeah.
and he's using this as a way to. He said he was an emotional eater, and that he's
Hmm.
using these, and it makes him feel like he's eating candy and whatever. And now he's drinking green juices every day, and they taste like candy to him. And
Interesting.
he lost the 250 pounds,
Hmm.
and that's so cool. Like
Yeah.
that was one of those things where I was like, I want to try this. Like I'm just so curious what it's like to eat a berry
Yeah.
and then eat a lemon like an orange.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's my like the most innovative invention, but I've never heard of that.
Yeah. 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 Shark
Crazy.
Tank. Shark Tank. Everybody. What else? So you two other handle Shark Tank. Anything else?
Yeah, Bachelorette, which has actually been a really sweet season, DJ.
Okay. Did I see that two of the Bachelorettes ended up together?
No, but you
Okay.
did see that one of the Bachelorettes from that dual season
Uh huh.
is dating a woman.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. 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 Gotcha.
So Gabby, who was my favorite Bachelorette,
Yeah.
she ended up with a guy. There were some issues. They broke up. And now she is dating for the last few months a woman. And she was talking about it on, I think, maybe The View or somewhere, how there was always this like whisper. And you know that Colton came out after his show too. And they specifically asked Gabby. It was so funny watching The View, DJ. Oh my God. They don't know how to ask questions. And they're like, so I think Joy is the one who said, so is it just women now?
Hmm.
And Gabby was like, I mean, it's just my woman.
I was gonna say it's just this one woman that I'm dating. I'm not dating multiple people right now.
But and then Joy was like, I mean, like in it forever, like, is it just
No.
women? And she was
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm very happy with my person. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
she's
Yeah. Yeah.
like, and all of the questions, one of the women, she was like, I don't even know how to ask this. Did you know? Like
Great.
it's so funny
So it's
watching it.
basically like trying to explain your new relationship to your like aunts. Like, yeah, it's
Exactly.
yeah.
And essentially what they were trying to say is like, are you gay? Are you bi? What's your deal? When
Yeah.
did you figure it out? Like,
Hmm.
but they don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And they all just like, so like, I mean, you were born that way, of course, but are you
Yeah.
aware
Yeah.
when? Like, it was cracking me up. But I looked at pictures and they seem like so cute together. And
Cool.
I hope she's really happy because she seems like one of the good ones. But the
Yeah.
woman this season, is effing awesome. And I really hope she ends up with this one guy who also seems effing awesome.
Yeah.
And that will be the first time I felt like that in seasons.
Cool.
So that would be very cool. I think for anybody who does watch, I hope that Charity ends up with Dotton. I think that it would
Hmm.
be perfect together. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, everybody. And just before we wrap up, Leonard Kim, to answer your earlier question, says for the North American region, we play the Gold Cup, and a recent one that was introduced, the Nations League.
Let me ask you, DJ. I'm
I'm
not
never gonna follow
trying to.
soccer.
I don't mean this to make a joke. Have you
Yeah.
ever heard of the Gold Cup or the
Nope.
Nations League?
Nope.
I have
Nope.
never heard of either of those things.
Never. And he says, going back to me, you asking about making real money. If you stream yourself playing the games, you can get real money. And that's something
Yeah, why don't you do that, DJ?
because it's a me time. That's a me
Oh,
time. You know this. You know this better
yeah.
than most. Like you can't turn everything you do into fucking work. Like you got to have things. This is just for me. Also, I don't need to be stream me cursing out a game because I'm fucking losing. I don't need you all to see that. That's just for me private time.
But that is
So
fun for you, even when you're like, fuck. Ah.
yeah, I like it. I like interactive narratives. I do prefer single player games as opposed to getting my ass handed to me by a 13-year-old from another country. Like I don't like multiplayer stuff. I'm just not. I don't have the patience for. I don't have the time to invest in it to get good at it, and I don't like losing. Another reason I was never good at competitive sports. I don't. I know everybody doesn't. I'm a poor loser. At least I was when I was a kid. Maybe I've gotten better. I doubt it. Anyway, that's why I don't stream. Sorry that Roxy and I don't know more about soccer, but listen, I feel like we learned some things today. Thanks for sharing. Thanks everybody that joined us live. Check out World Girls. Check out Roxy Stryer everywhere that matters. Find me at DJ Talks Trash. Thank you for being a patron, and we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.